minutes in length. So let's welcome John Zalewka.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and guests. This is actually my 9th speech out of the CC manual. I gave my 8th using visual aids at the club contest, and a couple weeks ago I gave my 9th speech at the area contest when I was filling in for Fred DiFilippo, which, as an aside, I'm happy to say I took 2nd place. So, thank you. But I've really been dreading the 7th speech, the research. I mean, what could I possibly look up and regurgitate to you to keep your interest? I really struggled with this to the point that I didn't have a title until today, and I did most of my research today as well. So I was thinking, what could I talk about? Football, I'm like, that's too predictable, plus you probably all be bored about that. About current events, what does this healthcare reform mean to an average dude like me? But I figured that would win me just as many enemies as friends, and I didn't need half of you off the bat not voting for me for best speaker, so I didn't go with that one. And then this Christie guy and his cuts and how they affect education and teachers, I figured I wasn't going to touch that one either. So I said to my wife, what do I talk about? What am I going to research? She's like, yeah, you want to look something up? Why don't you figure out why we have so many marigolds in our lawn and what to do about it? I'm like, honey, you're talking about dandelions. And that's brilliant. So my speech is, the grass is always greener when you take care of it properly. My research started this morning. I went to Home Depot. I half expected to speak to some schlub in the gardening department. Turns out the guy from Scott's Lawn was there, so I was actually surprised. I had this Scott's crabgrass Hulk stuff in my thing, and he turns around and he said, "Can I answer any questions?" I was like, "Oh, you don't even know, buddy." So I started picking his brain, and he tells me I have the wrong stuff. I should look at the weed control +2, blah, blah, blah. It goes into all of this great information, how I should get on a cycle with this stuff, and I'm like, great, you know. And I said, well, how much do I need? He said, well, how big a lawn do you have? I said, I have an acre, but, you know, it's not all grass. So he said, well, you're going to need 1 bag. It's 10,000 square feet. I said, oh, seems a little low. By this time, his subordinate had come over and was also kind of questioning 10,000 square feet for an acre. And he said, well, you better listen to him. He knows what he's talking about. So I bought my stuff because I'm killing these dandelions. I got way too many of them in my lawn. So I'm going to put this stuff down anyway, but I need to check out Chris's credibility. So I immediately Google acre, and I find out that an acre is actually closer to 44,000 square feet. It's a 660-foot by 66-foot lot, about the amount that an ox can maintain in 1 day from back in the day. It's another little research. But so now his credibility is shot, so I have to find another source. So I go to Rutgers Cooperative Research and Extension, and these are people who have specialists in turfgrass management and weed science and soil fertility. And I said, well, this is exactly what I need, and it's specific to this area. So I was surprised to find out that they don't discourage insecticides or herbicides like the Scott's product, which is good as long as you use it, you know, on an as-needed basis. So I was happy to see that, and then I found out a lot of other information. Essentially, there's 4 or 5 things you can do to get a great lawn. The first is mowing. A lot of times I'll mow the lawn really low just so I only have to do it once a week. It's a bad idea. You want to maintain your lawn around here to between 2.5 and 3 inches. Try to cut it 2 times a week if you can. Leave the grass clippings because they help with the soil. The worms like to eat it, which helps with the natural aeration of your soil, which then helps your grass to grow. Watering. I would water my lawn for 10 minutes per zone every other day. That's another bad idea I found out. You want to water it once or twice a week for like 20 minutes. Get a deep saturation in the soil so that it will enhance the weed, the root growth of the grass, building a healthier lawn. The next is fertilizing. There was so much information on fertilizing. That could be its own speech altogether. There's a lot of companies that want to sell you their different products, this and that. The best thing to do is to go to a company like, or not even a company, it's an organization like Rutgers Cooperative, to do some soil testing to see what you need, if you need some lime or other type of fertilizers in your lawn, and don't just take the company's word for it on their bag. And next is the insect and the weed control. which is the weeds what I'm having a problem with. So they recommend that you pull them wherever possible. I have way too much lawn to do that. And the next thing is to spot treat on an as-needed basis, which is pretty much what I'm going to do tomorrow after work. And then the other considerations you might want to think about is the aeration and overseeding, dethatching in the fall. This will help with your grass growth and snuffing out all of the weeds. So I hope I didn't bore you guys too much. That was the research on keeping the lawn nice and green and getting rid of all those nasty yellow flowers that my daughter loves but I hate. Mr. Toastmaster.